Hello and welcome to the latest installment of Sara Loves Romance Novels. I don't know about y'all, but I have been reading a lot this year. Like a lot. It's kind of worrisome how many books I've gone through. At the beginning of each year, I like to use the website and app Goodreads to set myself a book challenge. And way back in January when I set this challenge, I did not know how much time I was going to have to read. So, I set my reading level down at like 45 books, an attainable goal. And I just checked, literally just checked before I started recording this. And I'm at 75 books. So it's amazing what surviving a pandemic will do for your quiet reading time in life. Anywho, what that means is that I have been really exploring new genres and subgenres of romance, allowing myself to invest in books that I might not typically find myself gravitating towards. I mean, who has time to read a book that doesn't normally appeal to them? Well, apparently 2020 Sara does. So this year I really delved into fantasy romance and discovered that I actually like it quite a bit. This week, that is what I am sharing with you. Now, I do not consider myself a fantasy fiction fan. I am obsessed with Harry Potter, but I think that's more of a generational thing. I'm not into Lord of the Rings. I didn't get into Star Wars, any of that stuff. I didn't read Twilight, and y'all know I am not above some good YA romance. But I am a huge fan of these three books that I'm going to share with you today. But the bottom line is I would recommend these three books to fans of fantasy and non-fantasy alike. They are superb romance novels. So, let's get started, shall we? This first book is one that I have briefly mentioned before. This is Sophie Kinsella's Twenties Girl. And if you'll remember correctly, Sophie Kinsella is the author of the Shopaholic series. This is one of the few books that I have bestowed a 5-star rating on. Y'all, I am stingy with my rating system. If I give you a 4-star rating, it means I love this book. If I give you a 5-star rating, it's one of the best books I've ever read in my entire life. So this is a 5-star book, and it involves a 20-something named Lara, who has had her life upended. She has a fledgling career, her friendships have been upended, and apparently she has lost the perfect boyfriend, yada, yada, yada. All the good things that make up a catastrophe in waiting, And then, to cap it all off, she's apparently seeing things. The ghost of her great-great-aunt Sadie, who appears to her in all her flapper regalia. Once Lara realizes that this is indeed real life and she is truly being haunted by a sassy, bossy 20-something-year-old from the 1920s, she and Sadie end up working to solve a mystery, the mystery of Sadie's missing necklace. Along the way, Lara learns a lot about what's important in life, including her family, what healthy relationships look like. That's a good one to learn. It's a cozy romance, so anyone could read this. This is just a great and fabulous book, perfect in every way. I laughed a lot, I cried a little bit, and I just found it highly satisfying. So come on in and check this one out, please. All right, the next book. So when I realized that we had the next book on our shelves, I literally squealed like a little girl. I'm sure my coworkers thought something really exciting had happened, like I'd won the lottery, or I'd gotten a raise, or, something that actually had an impact on my life. No. I was excited because this book is fabulous, and I can't believe we actually have it, and I am so excited to share it with everybody. So this is Pian Elrod's The Hanged Man. I am bringing all the attention on this book today because it must be read. It's an alternate history version of Victorian England. It's an enlightened England that grants women autonomy and challenges classist practices. You know, kind of a nice world to live in. And it's what could be called a gaslight fantasy. Our heroine is similar to a psychic, but we now know that the word is an empath. She can read the emotions of others. Our alternate reality, Victorian England, also includes a governmental service called Her Majesty's Psychic Services. Our heroine is one of those readers, and she comes in to what is supposed to be a suicide, and instead finds that it is a murder, and not just a murder, but it's kind of a little bit of a brewing conspiracy to upend the realm. Who'd have thunk it? So this is a fast-paced story, super fast-paced, with lots of twists and turns. The first twist is in the first chapter, so you know it's gonna be a crazy ride. Whew, loved it. Anyways, she charges forward with our presumed hero, Lieutenant Brooke, who always appears at just the right time. And her hapless, feckless, adoring cousin James. The readers, are treated to a lovely, slow burn of a romance that really pays off at the end, especially when we consider that our heroine here is emotionally guarded for good reason, and has locked herself up in some self-imposed isolation. Not that that's healthy. Anyways, this is just perfection. Love it. Come in, get The Hanged Man by Pian Elrod today. Okay? It's here, waiting for you. Come and get it. All right. Our final book of the week is part of a series. This is Karen Marie Moaning's Darkfever. This is the Fever series. It is pretty popular. Kind of obsessed with it. So this is a true world-building fantasy. It stars a contemporary heroine named Mac. She is seemingly vapid, shallow, and reckless 23-year-old, the key word being seemingly. The heroine's sister is murdered in Dublin, Ireland. Mac leaves Georgia, determined to discover what happened to her sister. And all she has to go on is a garbled, incomprehensible voicemail from her sister and a convenient lack of self-preservation. So what Mac discovers is that there is apparently an entirely separate Fae world here on Earth, living side by side with us, not unlike the magical realm that exists in Harry Potter. Not only that, but itself is a powerful Fae that belongs to a species that is all but extinct at this point because they have been basically killed off by dark Fae who needs them gone in order to take over the entire universe, both Fae and non-Fae alike. So as for the hero, or shall I say the anti-hero, his name is Jericho Burroughs, and the two of them have a very combative relationship that is not built on trust. Point blank. That's it. In this first series, or in this first book, I will say. It's actually a very spicy relationship, and there is a level of aggressive physicality that might be off-putting to some, but if you are the kind of person that can read through that, it is part of what makes this addictive romance in this series. It's part of a 10-part series, and when the author released the first book, there was plans for only 5 books, and so now here we are 10 books later, and it's a great series, perfect escape from your everyday drudgery here in the land of 2020. So Very briefly, I am going to give you a bonus book this week. This is a book that was actually recommended by one of my coworkers, one of my other bookish coworkers. And I trust Crystal, and if she suggests it, I say, yes, you should also read it. So this is Gollum and the Jenni by Helen Wecker. This is another gaslight fantasy that basically stars star-crossed lovers. These are two fae from two warring species who navigate the world of gaslight New York City. And basically it's an overarching story of how love really is the great equalizer in this world. So check out Gollum and Jenni by Helen Wecker. So in reflection of my reading this year, I've come to realize that I just really don't care about genre. What I care about is a good story, right? It holds my attention, takes me places, and basically allows me to live another life other than my own perspective. And all these books do that for me. And I really hope that you choose one of these books off of the suggestions today so you too can escape to a wonderful fantasy land and find some new perspective. All right. I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I will see you next time. Bye, y'all.